Welcome, everyone, to Price Action Live for September 23rd, 2025. I'm one of your traders, Tom Hartman, alongside Mike Negative RR Christensen, co-founder and CSO of TradersPost. Up to 4 days a week at Price Action Live, we trade in front of you using the advanced trade execution engine known as TradersPost, the epic software that upgrades your trading. Whether trading stocks, futures, options, or crypto, TradersPost has got you covered. And today, we're trading with prop firm accounts. Mike, you're a new man. You've upgraded your skill, your understanding of how to get in and out of the markets, and it's very exciting. And what's been fun for me is that there's nothing that motivates me like the pain I feel at the success of other people, and that has caused me to get out of my shell and to think differently about my trading as well.
Okay.
So you're doing negative RR, and I'm doing infinite RR.
I see what you just did there. I like that.
Just
I do think that the rules of the trading prop firm accounts somewhat dictate that the idea is to get to consistent small wins or consistent base hits, as people say. And the more I've interviewed prop firm trader after prop firm trader for our show, everybody kind of follows the same routine. And I've had various versions of this in my mind, but you and I have discussed for a long time that, when I think about trading, I bring up the trading panel and the strategy tester, and I'm looking to compare the performance of my approach relative to the buy and hold approach. And I've been sort of classically trained in this idea that the idea is to hurdle the benchmark as best as possible and gain as much alpha as possible. Well, this is a little bit different of a game. The approach that I'm using doesn't necessarily hurdle the buy and hold, but it does create consistent small wins, which gets me closer to payouts. And that's the whole objective here. So I think it's a little bit different of a game, but ultimately leverage and scaling are what allow us to profit from this industry. So I'm pumped. I definitely have made a lot of great progress in the last week using this approach. I'm about 30% of the way to goal on 2 funded accounts, and I think we'll see how today goes as well.
For the first time, I'm 50% of my way to the passing an eval, so that'll be fun for me. I have no ability. I just don't understand what my shortcomings were, because I keep saying this I keep using the video game analogy that some people like puzzle games, some people like brawler games, some people like exploration games, some people like Forex games. And someone will say, I don't like video games. I go, well, you do like video games. You just haven't found the one that actually hooks for you. So let's just be quiet about all that.
Mm-hmm.
There's a multi-billion-dollar industry designed specifically to make games that you would like. You just haven't touched it yet. So for me, there's a trading style. There's an asset, a time horizon, a trading style that appeals to everyone. But then I also have to know what my shortcomings are. And if I have a stop loss, so with a negative RR, let's say you're aiming for $100 and you're going to allow for $500 risk.
Mm-hmm.
I know there is no way I will ever allow myself, one, to stop the trading at the $500 hit, or to not move that stop. I go, I need a strategy that works if my account itself is the liquidation level, is where that I'm willing to risk the account. So that means I have to have my entries be far better, and my exits be, and I can anticipate that is no reason to go beyond it. So, for example, when you made this clear to me that, let's say my Top Step account, I can't make more than a certain amount, because then I'm gonna break my consistency score. Well, then I go, then I never have to worry about getting more than 1,500 if I'm on the lower prop firm account, because I can't make any more than that. And that made it so that my position size made more sense, because if I know this is my expected move for my entry,
mm-hmm.
if I size it correctly, then I'll make that money. It'll close out, and I won't trade a penny more than that. So then I just have to get the entries more perfected. And then I realized that's exactly what I've been doing on Bitcoin, leveraged Bitcoin futures. I treat it like this. I treat it with the size of that position is the value of that's my liquidation level is my stop loss, and I trade accordingly, and I was able to double, triple, quadruple accounts with that sort of understanding, getting better at perfect entries. And in that video game analogy, there's a whole class of video games where you have to be frame perfect. You got to be absolutely perfect in order to get it, and that's the kind of gamer I am. And you go, yeah, that's what I actually like to do. So it's been fun to discover that about myself, the kind of trading that might work for prop firms.
The one thing I would point out there, though, is there is some rules with some firms that state that if you keep blowing out your accounts or using the maximum loss limit as a stop loss, they'll see that as account churning, and that could prohibit you from buying new accounts.
So then I would just buy them less frequently.
Sure. Perfect. Okay.
Yeah.
Just wanted to throw that out there. They definitely do keep an eye on the number of times you lose accounts.
I saw that from Jinzo on Twitter. He was like, I I got a letter saying, hey, you've been trading through accounts too much. This could be a problem. He's like, I've been waiting to get this email.
Gotcha. All right, I'm going to grab water. I'll be right back for the open.
Sure, no problem. Guys, just a reminder, everyone, we're using TradersPost in order to help us trade, because what we do is that we can actually have multiple prop firm accounts all connected together through our strategy on TradersPost. So if I head over to my TradersPost dashboard, I could have a strategy here that is connected to multiple different subscriptions. And what's great about that is that I can then have one trade signal that comes through and gets replicated across all the different accounts that I have connected. So on TradingView, you guys will see that we have levels and lines on our charts. We're using alerts from within TradingView in order to set up these signals. So, for example, over here, if I want, that's right. So I have a line on the chart, and if the line gets crossed, an alert gets sent off to my TradersPost webhook with a message, for example, here, in order to sell this contract. And it's fantastic because this one signal gets sent, and I can then copy that signal across all those different accounts. Now, on top of that, each one of the subscriptions for that strategy can have its own settings applied. So I can have my own position settings, my own directional settings, my own trade windows, all kinds of different settings set up for that particular prop firm account, which makes it so that I can have, if I have, let's say, different account sizes for prop firms, I might have one that's 50,000, another one that's 100,000, another one that's 200,000. I can change my position sizes so that my position size is scaled across them all, or I could take less risk in one and more risk in another. I love the granular control that we get with our software. All right, 5 seconds until market open. Let's see what happens here. My bias is towards the downside, and so I'm already in a short.
Holy cow. Did I misinterpret this? That's not the candle, right? What? Yeah, I'm misinterpreting it. It's the line from the previous day. I thought that was the wick high. I was like, what just happened there?
My aim is, I think we're going to get to weekly VWAP or to 24,900. So around 24,900 is around where I'm looking for today.
We're on the same page. I got 24,822 as S1 today. And we've obviously seen some consolidation from the overnight session. It seems like resistance is right here at about 25,015, or really just 25,000, which is obviously the psychological level that people are trading. So let's wait for a few minutes from the open, and we'll figure out where we want to go from here. Go ahead.
What's been interesting is the divergence between equities and Bitcoin. Mm-hmm. So Bitcoin has just been eating it. It's down, 2%, if not more? No, it's down 4% since September 18th. So basically since the Fed meeting, Bitcoin's been trending lower. And we've had equities making new highs. So when I see that, I generally expect, so equities can move based on options data or options positioning that doesn't exist within the Bitcoin space. Even though there are options within the Bitcoin space, it's not nearly as developed as the equity space. Right. And so Spot Gamma did a great job of pointing this out using their hero indicator, and I believe some of their members meeting, where they were just saying that the positioning of the option space was making it so that we would have this run up, just this bullish momentum as basically you crash upwards with how the options are positioned. But that tells me that once that gets cleared out, that we should have a equities fall in order to match where Bitcoin is now, because Bitcoin is trading based on global liquidity, whereas equities trade on global liquidity and market participant, position
fundamentals. Yeah.
So we'll see what happens there. That's why my bias has just been to the downside.
Understood. I mean, we certainly are overstretched. Looking at even the 15-minute chart, we're at a point in which I think we've just been on a tear for long enough now that we should see a little bit of a pullback. So I'm also sort of anticipating some movement to the downside. We're almost in overbought territory on the 2-hour chart as well. So I don't know that we have much more room to go before we see a decent pullback from here.
Yeah. Now there is still options expiry that is happening. The quarterly expiry, September 30th.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll see how all that shakes out. Generally speaking, that doesn't mean the market moves in one particular way, but it does mean that if there's an event, if there's some sort of catalyst or something like that, it can cause basically negative gamma, where your stocks fall lower in order to, because there's less people who are protected to the downside.
Got it.
It's fun. Peter's been Peter, part of the marketing team, has been devouring people who put up trading content as entertainment. And there's like he found something they do. I forget which country they do esports trading style. So,
is it like Korea maybe?
I can't remember where it was, but it's just imagine big projector, 4 people trading, all their trades set up. So imagine 4 people's live streams all on one screen, and then everyone drinking and mill around, music all around as everyone is screaming and shouting as the equities move, which is fun. I just love that. It just feels like we're the beginning stages of I don't know, like a renaissance within trading, because you had the catalyst of people coming in because of the lockdowns,
mm-hmm.
and now you have a whole generation of people who are like, they also have an eye towards trading, like they have that vernacular there.
Yeah.
And I could see myself participating or organizing something like that. All right, everybody. I want color commentary for live traders.
Okay, so I tried to take a short below VWAP there, and I'm waiting for it to reverse back in my direction now. If you've been paying attention to the bottom left corner, you'll see that I had to eat a little bit of a drawdown before getting this trade to go back in my favor.
We had that wick higher, which is what I normally like to see on the 1 minute, just to confirm that we're done with the upward move, but I wish that wick was a little bit more to 25, 21.
Yeah, 15 minutes still looks bearish, so I'm going to let this trade play out. I don't need to go far. There we go. So that just filled, so up 124 on trade 1.
All right, we hit the lower level.
Ooh, I like where ATR is starting to move up. Not quite as volatile as some of the other market opens, though. Sometimes we get nice big ATR moves right from the open, but this one's a little weak.
I prefer this than the roller coaster ride.
I want moves. I want quick, tight moves. Okay, that's a decent close below VWAP there. So back to a bearish bias. 15-minute looks really good, but this is local support here at 974.
All right. Is the ghost gonna give up? Come on, that'd be fantastic for me. I'm trying to get to 24,951. That's my goal.
951. Okay. Well, let's see if the buyers are going to show up here at 974, which would confirm support here from the overnight. I think that's going to break though, and then we have some room to the weekly VWAP at 933.
I still got one level at 24,969. It is weak, so we'll see.
Okay.
But a bounce there could be. I just don't want to see a bounce. I don't want to see any bounce here.
So I spoke to another prop firm trader yesterday that was interested in us integrating charts on our own platform because they would prefer to be in all one environment. And I'm like, you know what? I agree with you, especially right now when I can't even get the regression tool to respond.
Aventura Trader.
Hey, Aventura.
What's up? And hey, Kazi. Nice to see you guys. Are you guys in a trade? Always willing to know. Always want to know that we're not alone out on these dark seas.
There's 974.
All right. Now break 969. Please, oh please, oh please.
Nice and bearish. All right, what do we got here? Should be a little bit of a retrace. That'll get me into a trade again. And then I'm waiting for the pullback.
All right. Are you ready for a retrace like to 983 or
979?
979.
It's at it right now. Oh, there it goes. I was gonna say I'm probably gonna get wicked.
Bearish on the 1 minute, neutral on the 5, bearish on the 15, bearish on the 2. Okay, let's see.
So this is definitely an area where I'm going to kind of play around with my rules a little bit because VWAP is such a reliable indicator. If we post above VWAP, I may pull the plug on this trade a little early. Otherwise, I'm gonna give it enough room to be wrong before I'm out again. So right now my stop is set at 25,000 even, right at the psychological level.
Okay, that makes sense because 50-minute VWAP's at 24,989. So
yep,
I'm looking for it to hold below there.
So I'm taking $400 of risk for $100 of gain.
Aventura says he's not in a trade. No problem. If you do get into one, just make sure it's in the same direction that I'm taking.
All right, nice looking rejection off of VWAP there. Kind of anticipated a little bit of a retrace from the open. Let's measure the move now. If I can measure the move. Well, at least my lines have been firing this morning.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
All the parents are sick because their kids are back in daycare and school.
It's that time of the year.
Alrighty.
440 left in this 15-minute candle. It's looking like we might have found the bend in the end here on the 2-hour chart.
I mean, that would be fun. I would take that.
Me too. Okay, that's the second trade profitable, up 253 now. I am loving this approach, Tom.
It's been like to watch the journey that you went through with this was pretty interesting.
There's been some losses. There's been some headaches and frustration, little heartache. I think at peak I had 42 accounts and lost all of those at one point.
Right.
So I've made some investments in this and would love to see this get back on track.
But the stick-to-itiveness of the whole thing has been just like, it's not this self-deprecating, like, there's no point in me doing it. It's like, I gotta find a better way. I know there's a way. Oh, yeah. I gotta find the way.
Well, that's one thing I'm sure you've already learned about me. I'm definitely the type who is very persistent. Okay,
All
Okay,
right, I
right
made my
now the
trade.
weekly VWAP. Look at that.
I made my 1500 for the day. So
Excellent, Tom.
I think is the account passed now. Let's see.
So what were your trades just now? And were you well sized? You must have been.
Yeah, so this is what I've been.
Tier 3 NQ, what were you in?
Yeah, I was on NQ. This is what I was telling you this before the stream. I'm trying to get $1,500 for the, or I look at my trade setup and I go, this is where my exit would be.
Okay.
Then I go, if that's my exit, where would be my perfect entry? And my perfect entry, I've been taken on MNQ, has everything to do with 15-minute VWAP levels. So actually, I'll show it to you on my chart. What am I just describing it for? Oh, sorry, 2-hour levels on the 15-minute. So whenever we get to, you see these white lines? Actually, I don't want to distract you if you're in a trade.
Just looking to turn off this MES tray. Okay, go ahead.
So these levels, these white lines at the top are unmitigated 2-hour levels.
Right.
And whenever I've found that when MNQ gets to an unmitigated 2-hour level, it then stops there and reverses to whatever main level has not been mitigated yet. So in this case, it would be down to 24.9. Yesterday was at the top over here. It came down to this level to the daily level, and it just keeps doing that. So whenever I get to that point, and we're far enough away from an unmitigated daily level or main level support, I then take the trade of two NQs and just hold it, and just ride it all the way to that level, or to 1500, which is usually somewhere in between there.
Right.
Whereas before, I was taking smaller trades, trying to get down to the entire thing. Like you'd see me on these price action lines. I got to get all the way down. I got to get the entire move. That's crazy.
Yeah.
So when you were starting to be successful with the negative RR, I go, why am I not doing that?
Size up and take a smaller move. Yeah.
Exactly.
I'm with you. And I've been considering moving to 2 NQ rather than 1, but I want to hang on to that card for a while and just make sure that this approach is working, get to a couple more payouts, and then I might start increasing my size from there.
And I've also been taking the Tokyo trade. So if I take the Asian session trade,
Asian session helps quite a bit, right?
That's right. So that gets me my first 1500, and then if I try during the day, I can get the next one.
So most of your profit was made before the session even opened this morning.
Half was yesterday, half is today. Yeah.
Nice. Well done.
Thank you. So I wonder if I actually passed this thing. Let's see.
Okay, there was an interesting, somewhat bounce off of the weekly VWAP there. Came all the way down to 941.
$941. What's that support? Oh no, we're still confirming this bearishness. We keep bouncing back up to the 15-minute VWAP. Yeah. I don't really see how we don't get all the way down to the weekly VWAP.
Okay, I managed to do a third trade there that was successful. So that's 3 in now. So I'm about $2,000 off from passing this Apex account, and then I'm making good progress on 2 Tradeify funded accounts.
Awesome. In it to win it. So I wonder when I find out if my account is passed. Do I find out instantly?
It'll usually be after the market closes. You'll get an email from Top Step.
I see. All right. I'm wondering if should I just go ahead and open up another account and continue from
Keep going.
Keep going.
I mean, you certainly can. They're not going to stop you. Interesting what's happening here off of VWAP. So I think I'm going to change the settings of my indicator just a little bit here. ATR has now moved up to 12, so I just want to adjust the size of my take profit and stop loss just a little bit here. Looks like it's attempting to retrace back to VWAP, but we're still in a bearish move here. 15-minute is very engulfing relative to the overnight candles.
Yeah. We have seen things like this completely reverse.
True.
Just
Another good reason to be in this type of trade for only the 5 to 7 or 5 to 10 points of take is that I'm in and out of these trades so fast that I don't need to worry about a huge trade turning against me in a trend following approach.
right.
Now, granted, it is nice being able to capture the entire trend, but I just kind of don't care about that anymore. I just want to get to the target for the day.
Get on base.
That's
Add
right.
trading days. Yeah.
Yeah, get on base. I think that's a nice way to put it. Just get to the next base.
I had to make a deal with my wife that in order to keep doing these prop firm accounts, I have to stop buying Starbucks. So
nice. So your Starbucks fund is now your prop firm fund.
Exactly. Which
And you're
turns
buying
out
a lot of Starbucks.
Oh my God, there's a lot of room in that fund. I'll tell you that.
Well, I think there's a good reason why Starbucks has done well as a publicly traded company, especially with new ownership now. The guy from Chipotle took over.
What's fun, you're like, oh, I'm going to stop drinking coffee for a week. And then you're like, why do I feel like I'm dying? This is terrible. I think I got to go back to Starbucks.
I think when people say that, you drink coffee to be awake, and I go, no, I drink coffee to not get a coffee headache. That's the reason.
That's exactly right.
Yeah.
Well, I get the coffee flu.
Withdrawal symptoms.
Yeah, the coffee flu is just brutal, where you're like, am I transitioning to ketosis? What is happening here? Why do I feel terrible?
Yes. Basically, your liver is failing until you have the next espresso shot.
Oh, is that what's happening?
No, I'm just kidding.
I was like, oh, I better get some espresso right now.
Yeah, right. Tom, this is a very big motivator. We got to work on these charts, man. The lags and delays on this thing are driving me nuts.
Brutal. Give me 1 second. I'll be back.
Okay. In the meantime here, it looks like this trade might be the one that's turning against me. Let's see where we're actually scheduled to get out. 983 is where my stop is. I don't think we'll get there, but let's see. That's the point of negative RR here, is giving the candles room to breathe before they come back and actually hit my take profit. So there's the rejection off of VWAP. I'd like to see it close a little bit further below the 8 EMA and then post one more leg down. I don't need to go much further in order to get a profitable trade out of this. The take profit zone is at 950. So just got to get right here. And that's right in the cluster of candles that were already there, which is kind of an approach here, really, is to try to make sure that the size of my take profit is relative to recent candles so that there's a greater likelihood that there will be a take profit. I'm not trying to get a whole new leg out of this at all. I'm really just trying to capture some portion of the move that's already been established. So how are we doing here, guys? Any trades now that we've established more of a short from the VWAP? Any automated trades out of Ventura? Got it. All right, so that's so far a 100% win rate on 4 trades. Up 486 on the accounts. And for those watching, what I'm basically doing here is I have a red line that I've set up that's just a red dashed line, and I've set up an alert inside of it with a message that goes to TradersPost to sell one NQ contract, the current front month contract. And then I can sort of dial in my take profit and stop loss based on where ATR is at the moment. So right now I have this ATR suite that I built, which just keeps an eye on the 2-period ATR, the 14-period ATR, and then the long run moving average of ATR for this instrument. So overall, if you look at NQ on the 1 minute chart over 5,000 bars, which is roughly 3.5 days, you can see that ATR tends to be around 10 on average, and that includes all the regular trading hour ATR values. So what I'm looking for are moments where ATR is a little bit higher than the long run moving average, or right at the long run moving average, because those are the areas where I'm more likely to hit my take profit. If things start to come down in volatility too much, then it takes a lot longer for me to finally get to the take. And I'm sure we've all seen that in moments like yesterday, where ATR comes down to like 4 or 3, it can take 15 minutes for me to get out of a 5-point take profit. So that's been nice to sort of rely on ATR as a guide or a filter for when I get in and out of the market. Aventura says nothing, no trades since the market opened yesterday. Copy that.
Interesting. I heard 100% success rate you've had today.
Yeah, four great trades, up 486 now.
Awesome. We're both winners.
See, now you don't have to be mad at me, Tom, for being a winner today.
Well, now what I'm mad at is that you're winning more often. I had to think of big swings. You win more reasonably more often.
All right, looks like it's trying to head back to VWAP again, but I'm looking for a potential rejection here in one more trade.
Well, we have 7 minutes left inside of the 2-hour candle where I'm getting my bearish signal. But after that candle closes, my bearish signal for the 2-hour, I no longer respect. I go, I don't think what happened on the candle before for that. And so I'm actually surprised about how much support we're finding here. We only got halfway to, got halfway to that level.
Yeah, I agree. I think there is still some room for downside. We just have to break that weekly VWAP, which currently served as support. And then I'm not gonna complain if we retrace to 819. It's a healthy retrace.
Right.
I'm gonna go ahead and take this one. This feels like rejection off of VWAP.
Yeah, 5-minute and 50-minute, basically confirming this short-term bearish move.
There it is again. 5th successful trade of the day, up 640. This is what I mean. It's fantastic. There's no waiting around to see if the trend will play out for me. No waiting an hour and a half for a complete move. Just
That's
in
right.
and out. And the other beauty is the rules with many of these firms dictate that they don't want you in micro scalps, right? They don't want you in and out of these tiny, almost HFT style trades. You have to have a minimum time of 5 seconds for your trades. Well, if you look at my stats here, which I don't think you can see in the bottom left-hand corner, my average trade time is 1 minute 25 seconds. So I'm well above the minimum requirement for trade time. Interesting. Are we going to break this support line here?
It looks like it.
It's trying.
It always happens in the middle of the 15-minute candle. Never at the beginning, never at the end. Interesting. I wonder what that means.
First, I'm going to try one more here. Don't have to go far. $931 is what I'm getting out at.
$931. Yeah, that makes sense.
Which on the electronic hours is basically where the weekly VWAP is. There's obviously going to be a difference between the weekly VWAP on regular trading hours and the weekly VWAP on electronic hours, as there's many more bars and volume incorporated into electronic hours. Oof. Was that my one bad trade of the day? Did it just bounce on me?
Where's your stop?
Okay, so stop on this one is 964.
No, I think you're not going to hit that stop.
That's right below VWAP again. So we just need to get to 931 and I can be out on this trade. see where this overall trend is going in about 15 minutes when TradingView finally catches up. It's really bothering me.
Yeah.
I've seen some complaints from other people on Twitter as well. It felt like for a minute there, TradingView had done something with their infrastructure. And for the last maybe 4 or 5 days, things had improved. But now we're back to this congestion issue again. All right, downtrend is still 0.74. That's nice to see. But it may actually come right back up into this pocket here, which will stop me out.
Yeah, it's a bounce in 1 minute.
One rejected reversal here so far. So I'm pretty confident that this should be a continuation of this downtrend, but why support here? Weekly VWAP, that's the thing. This is going to be a tough one.
We're also nearing the end of the 15-minute candle, but
That's true.
I don't see how it gets to 64.
Comes back up to 64.
Yeah.
Let's we got 2 minutes left in the 15 and the 2 hour. Let's give it a couple more minutes here and see if this trade plays out. This is partly what's helping with my average trade time too, is moments like this where before it finally gets to that 6 points a take, or what do I have it set out on this one? The nice thing is I can go back and look at the log of what came through. So I have my take profit at 9 points right now, just because ATR was high enough for me to do that.
Right.
Okay, almost there. 9:35, 9:34. Don't do it.
Don't do it. Don't bounce.
Get there. Let's go. Now I could decide, all right, look, I've already gotten my 5 points of take here. I could just throw the exit line down and get out of this position.
Right.
And I think I'm going to be prepared for that here. I'm just going to put my thumb on the button. See, I don't like that. Let me get
1 minute left.
More. I'm gonna go ahead and just move my stop to roughly break even in case it turns around and goes the other way.
Yeah, which can happen on the first minute of this 15-minute candle.
It's true.
But we have 50 seconds. Let's see. I think it'll still break down.
It's trying.
45 seconds.
It's a nice bearish candle. I should be right on this trade. 941. So that wicked down at 932.25. Dang it, man. I was $1.25.
So close. Yeah. 18 seconds.
I hate that.
Too close to call. 5 seconds. Doesn't look like it.
There.
Oh.
All right. I'm good with that. That's fantastic.
Congratulations, Mike. Congratulations.
Okay, so that's a good sequence of moves for the day. Lots of trading, but ultimately it's measured, controlled moves. I'm looking for those reversal spots. I'm still looking for rejections of VWAP. I'm looking for breaks of trend. All of my entries are the typical entries that I would normally take to build up a longer term trend following strategy for the whole day. The difference is I'm sized much larger. It's one NQ in each trade, but my take profits are in and out pretty quickly. So we're up 815 for the day on 3 accounts, and I'm going to call it here because that was a good enough session for me to call it a day. So in and out, $800 in 30 minutes. I don't know many jobs that help you make that much money in a day.
That's right. Excellent. Perfect. Well, we'll be back tomorrow morning, 9:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And as long as Mike and I keep making these trades, the money that we need for the day, faster and faster, these sessions might be 5 minutes long. I don't know, Mike. These sessions might just end up being super quick price action live.
I mean, from here, if you're really confident, you can take 3 NQ and make a whole lot more money in a shorter period of time. But I'm really cautious about sizing up because that's where you can get yourself into a lot of trouble. Right now, the nice thing about the 1NQ is that I have at most $500 of risk on the table, and I want to keep my losses really tight on a daily basis, because that's how you win this game, is keeping the losses tight and not eating too much into that drawdown. We don't have $100,000 accounts or $150,000 accounts. We have $2 or $3 or $4,000 accounts, because that's the size. It's based on how much drawdown you have.
That's right.
Yep.
And as you succeed, that drawdown that you have decreases, which is so painful.
It's rough. Yeah. Try working with $200 in drawdown. Good luck.
But we certainly will be back tomorrow morning, 9:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, for more trading. If you guys have any assets that you're trading that we're focused on the NQ, if you guys are looking at any other assets, point them out. Put them in the comments. We'd love to take a look at them. It might be fun to trade other assets as we go on. Remember to go to TradersPost.io and use the coupon code PropScaling20 in order to get 20% off of your subscription, including add-ons. So if you're an existing user of TradersPost, you can still take advantage of it as well. But for now, we'll leave you, as always, with a happy trading.
Cheers, everyone.